Well, welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are live. That's right, live to here, ready to talk about the Toronto Raptors. That's right, they're in the playoffs for the first time since 2021. 46 win season. A very, I wouldn't say surprising season. Yes, I thought they would win 41 games. They won 46 games. They got to the fifth seed, which was unexpected for me. I didn't think they'd be that good. Um, a lot of things went their way, but credit to them, they got to the fifth seed and they get a first round matchup with the Cleveland Cavaliers. As always, guys, like, subscribe, and comment. Still trying to add subscribers, still trying to grow the channel, and we're going to give you a nice preview here. I'm joined by Jose Carlos Gomes, and I hope to have more guests as we go along, as well as people watching. We will put your questions on screen. Anyone who wants to join, I have sent out the link, so please let me know. Jose, it's been a very strange season for the Toronto Raptors, a season that I have not been enamored with, despite the fact that they are 46 and 36. Um, I don't have a lot of faith in this team, and that probably surprises you a little bit. I love the Raptors. I've always loved the Raptors. I've watched them since their inception. I was extremely overjoyed when they won the championship in 2019. But since that 2019 championship, it has been a rough road for this team. We had the bubble situation happen, which kind of messed up the second go around of the defending of the championship. And then since then, it's been really downhill. Masai was fired by Keith Pelly, and he's now joined the Toronto Temple organization, which is hilarious because the ownership in Toronto likes Masai, and the ownership currently for MLSE does not, which is why he was let go. Replacing him was his right-hand man, Bobby Webster, and obviously Coach Darko is still there. Here's my problem, Josie, and you can tell me if you disagree or not. Sometimes you aren't what your record is. For the most part, you are what your record says you are. But I'm looking at this Raptors team, and I think they took advantage of a lot of bad and tanking teams. Okay? We're joined by Coach Roach. I'm going to get him up here so we can hear this. Welcome, Coach Roach. We just started the show. I was just talking about the Raptors and their season, and I'm just sort of starting my diatribe about how fortunate they were this season. I'm also giving them credit for their season. But here's my point I was going to bring up. When you're 5-21 against the best teams in the league, and that's the top third of the league, it really sort of puts a damper on 46 and 36 in the fifth seed. They're 25-3, I believe, against the bottom teams in the league. Now, I've been vocal in saying this all season. More than a third of the league is tanking. I would say 8 out of the 32 teams, which is 25% of the league, is tanking. And then there's another, like, 4 teams, perhaps, that are either injured or not very good. And they took advantage of those teams. But when they play good teams, they get annihilated. And so I look at their fifth seed, 46 and 36 record, and I'm like, this team's not very good. I don't believe in the coach. He did what he had to do to get to where he was. And the team has had ups and downs, to say the least. I don't know what to make of this team. And I'm very happy Coach is here because he's going to help me out because, like, I just don't know what to make of this team. What I will say about this series quickly is they're playing a team that since James Harden has joined them is 19-7. That's over 70%. And that doesn't bode well for the Raptors. Now, of their 5 wins against these teams, 3 of them were against the Cavs, but they were all in November or earlier. The Cavs team has dramatically changed. And that means they're 2-21 against the best teams in the league. Because I don't count those Cavs wins. Yes, they get credit for those wins. I don't want Raptor fans to hate on me here, but that team has dramatically changed. James Harden is now on the Cavs. Now James
They're healthy too now.
They're healthy. Now James Harden is he's no playoff genius, but when he did play the Raptors, he torched them when he played for Philadelphia last time they made the playoffs. Now, also missing from those games was Donovan Mitchell for 1 game and Jared Allen for 2. A healthy Cavs team with their 2 bigs and those 2 guards are going to be incredibly difficult to guard, and especially with how small the Raptors are. Now, Coach sent out a question online. It was a very good question. How can the Raptors beat this team, even if you don't believe they will? Well, I got one way of doing it. It's damn near impossible, but here's what I believe, and then I'm going to go to Coach and ask him, and then Jose, I want you to come in and tell me your thoughts on their season. If somehow, and this is, I know this is crazy, guys, but if Jamal Shed and Scotty Barnes can somehow guard Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, or somehow keep them at a total that's reasonable, they have a chance to win the series. Now, that's asking a lot because I don't think that's going to happen because the rest of the team on the Cavs is questionable. Their wings are not the greatest, and their big men are inconsistent at best. Mobley's had a very inconsistent season. Jared Allen has been up and down. But since James Harden has been there, Jared Allen has looked like the next coming of Lob City. So that doesn't bode well for a Raptors team that has a horrible time drafting bigs. Just ask DeAndre Ayton and Jalen Duren. It didn't end well. Mm-hmm. And of course, Alfred Sinkin. And every time the Raptors have played a big, it has not ended well. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns would be one of the greatest players of all time if he played against the Raptors every night. He would be GOAT, and he'd be in the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you, like, there's no question. So the cons of this series way outweigh the pros. But if you're asking me how they're going to win, that's their only chance. And I still don't think they can score enough to win this series or keep them at a low enough score that will allow them to win the series. But that's the only way I see, Coach, that they can pull this off. And to do it for 4 games out of 7 is damn near impossible. But let me go to you, and then I'll go to Jose on his thoughts. But what? First of all, who do you have in this? I have the Cavs winning this series. I'm sorry to say, but give me your first answer, and then what you think will happen in this series.
Well, I think Ingram is going to have to average 25 to 30 in this series.
I think 30.
Yeah, the one thing that the Raps might have an advantage, they almost have to put Evan Mobley on him. They start Dean Wade. Dean Wade, I don't think, could guard me right now. He'd be the last person I would put on Brandon Ingram. So that would mean Dean Wade's going to guard who? He might have to guard Scotty. I don't think you're going to put Harden or Mitchell on Scotty. I think they're going to try to make Scotty a scorer in this series. I would think about it if I was Cleveland. It's almost like it's the Jokic question in Denver. Some of the teams in the past were trying to make Jokic a scorer because he's so unselfish to hitting guys. It's almost like he's too unselfish. I think Cleveland's going to try to make Scotty a scorer in this series. They'll put Mobley on Ingram. If I was Cleveland, I would try that. You got Scotty averaging 17, 18 points a game. You're not going to worry too much about him scoring. Let's just say he gets that. That's his average, so fine. If I'm Cleveland, I'm trying to make him a scorer, and I'm putting Mobley on Ingram. But I think Ingram's going to average 25 to 30. I think this is a series. I'll say this. This is the one series that Pirtle has a chance to be average or effective. He plays the Knicks, it's a wrap. He plays Boston, it's a wrap. They take too many threes. Jared Allen is a similar center to him, except Allen's more athletic. But in the season so far, when they played Cleveland, Pirtle's done okay. This was earlier on when he was apparently hurt with his back issues and stuff like that. So my thing with the Raptors is if Cleveland really slows it down, and the Raptors play really fast. Most young teams do, right? Now, we all know playoff basketball, it slows down, it gets more physical. I will say this. The most physical guy in the series might be Scotty if he chooses to be. Mm-hmm. Mobley's not that physical. No. Dean Wade, no. Harden, no. Mitchell, no. Scotty has the chance to be the most physical in this series to help give the Raptors a chance to win. So he's got to be physical. I read somewhere that they might put RJ on James Harden. I don't dislike it. Here's why. You know I'm an RJ fan. But he's a terrible help defender, though. He's terrible help defender. You might have to put RJ Barrett on Harden because physically he can match up with him a little bit. I don't know if I'd want Scotty on him. I was thinking about it earlier with Hopeful and Beyond. I thought about it again. I'm like, man, you're asking Scotty might have to go on Mitchell some. He might play a Mobley some. He's going to be in switches anyway, so they might have to put RJ on hard. I'd give it a try. Here's the last point why the Raptors might have a chance. Number one, Cleveland is all in. There's a lot of pressure on them to win. Like not just this series, but to go maybe to a conference
Yeah,
final. They're all in.
absolutely.
The Raptors right now, nobody's predicted them to win. Every
I know.
American analyst, Cavs in 6, Cavs in 7. I'm not
Yeah,
disputing them so much, but if I'm a
yeah,
player on the Raptors and I see all that, we have look, we get house money we're playing with right now. Why not just go play our game, hope for the best? They're the team that's get the pressure on them. They're the team
yeah,
in the second luxury tax.
yeah.
That's one way you can, from the mental standpoint, you can go about it. It's like we got no pressure on us. We're just going to go play our game, see what happens.
I know this sounds crazy, but I don't think they can win the series without Quigley.
I agree.
And I know Quigley's not the greatest point guard in the world, but his shooting is going to be needed in this series.
Spot
They
on.
can't win. They can't win with Shed starting this series. They can't.
Quickly's defense, according to the numbers this year, is actually not as bad as what people think. I think he was in the 66th percentile. It's not
Mm-hmm.
bad. It's not
Mm-hmm.
great, but it's not bad. If it helps any, RJ and Grady were in the lower 10th percentile. So it's
Yeah, I just don't think that they can guard those two guards. With I just yeah. I mean, they're going to have
no.
to hope that they don't go off, both of them. They have both bad shooting nights, which could happen. But I don't see that happening. But let me get Jose in here. Jose, you haven't said a word about their season or the playoffs yet, but let me get a fresh perspective. What do you think?
Listen, I think it's going to be tough on them.
Yeah.
The advantages the Raptors do have, I believe their bench is stronger than the Cavs. Guys coming in off the bench, I think
Ooh,
they're.
yeah.
I think
Well,
they're similar, but I think the Raptors have a little advantage on that with the players coming
is
from
Jacoby
Walker.
starting this series? I
Who?
think Jacoby going to start this series?
Unless
Well,
Quickly's hurt, I
Yeah,
don't see
unless
it.
quickly cert. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right. Okay, okay.
So like
Yeah.
you have him coming off the bench. You have Mamadouch, whatever his name is, coming off the bench.
Mamu.
Mamu coming off the bench too. Like he can shoot some threes.
I
To
think Mamu's
me,
going to have a tough time in this series against those bigs. Just saying.
yeah, but dude, like, but by the time he gets in, it's gonna be like their bench warmers too coming in. But you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? To
yeah.
me, I think RJ Barrett's the key factor in this series. I think he's got to
Okay.
have a great
Coach is going to like
series.
that.
No, 100%. Because listen, who's the Cavs gonna put a guarding on him? Probably Harden covering him or whatever. If he puts pressure on Harden and gets him in foul trouble, that's one less guy for you to worry about,
Yeah.
right? So, and even like defensively, you can put him on Wade or Strauss or whatever they put at the three, and then you can have Barnes covering Harden or Mitchell, whatever you want. So to me, I think he's going to be a key factor in this, and then also Quickly's injury. I have plantar fasciitis myself, so I know how it feels. Like it's a
I
pain
think
in your.
he's going to be unhealthy the whole series, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's like it's a thing that you gotta like play with it. Like it's just gonna be painful for you to always step quickly and stuff like crossovers or move quickly. It hurts, yeah, but you gotta deal with it. And it's playoff now, no excuses. Like
That's true.
you can't. But to me, honestly, like you said, the Cavs are all in. It's the pressure's all on them. Like the Raptors have no
Yeah.
pressure on them, but I think the Cavs are going to win the series. I think it's going to be 6 to 7 games. I think the Raptors give them a good challenge. In the regular season, yeah, they didn't play, but then again, a lot of the guys, the best teams that the Raptors lost to, didn't play their starters and they lost the games. And then against Cleveland, they ended up winning
That's
the
true.
games, right?
Yeah.
So I think
I mean,
I
this is
think
the
they
best
match up pretty
matchup.
well.
I mean, this is by far the best scenario for the Raptors to get the Cavs because they were
Yeah.
they were going to get swept by the Knicks and the Celtics.
Oh,
There's
100%.
no
100%. The
question in my
Knicks,
mind. The,
to
the Knicks
me,
have them 15 times in a row. Like it would have been pretty. So
yeah, for sure, for sure.
so um, Evan Mobley, will his 3-point shooting coach be the difference in the series?
Could be. I think he could be
Well,
the difference in this series, quite
right.
honestly.
I think
Whatever
he's
he
the X
brings.
factor. Yeah, I think he's the X factor. Because if you put Portal on Allen, who is guarding Mobley And
Ingram.
so, well, who do you think's guarding him, coach?
Who's guarding Mobley?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a mixture of Scotty and Ingram.
Okay. So, yeah. So that's
Here's what
interesting.
Darko's going to do. If someone is struggling to guard someone, we know that Scotty's going on that person.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think Pirtle does in the pick and roll against Jared Allen? Because you know that James Harden is going to go crazy with that pick and roll, James Allen, and it has been incredibly effective. And I don't see the Raptors stopping it, to be honest.
You know, Darko better not mess around with this if they want to win. And that means you got to go quick to CMB.
Yeah.
You're going to be smaller, but you know James Harden is going to get him in so many pick and rolls with Allen, or Harden just going by him. They're hunting that. So you're going to
Yeah.
need CMB. And
Yeah.
I know you're going to be smaller, but you can't give up those perimeter points, which they might if Pirtle's on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. CMB is just like, he's been so good this year. I've been pleasantly surprised, not by his defense. I think his defense was expected to be good.
Yeah.
His offense is a work in progress, but he's been great inside finishing stuff. He's had a really good last month of the season. He still hurts, which is, I mean, the guy's walking around with that thumb, reminding me of Solo Sokoa. So
No.
he's just out there with that thumb. So,
Good
but
WrestleMania weekend reference.
yes, absolutely, I'm looking forward to that. His defense in this series could very well tilt the series. If they're able to get three guys that can defend well in this series and keep the score low, I think that gives them the best chance. Because their offense, I'm sorry to say, is not very good, coach. It's just not. Jose, you've watched this team. Their offense has not been good all season. I mean, unless they played bad teams.
They're
They're terrible
inconsistent.
at the half court. And it's like, if this is a half court series, they have no chance to win.
They're inconsistent. They've had their good games where they put up 120, 130 points, but then
Mhm.
again, it's against weaker competition.
Yeah.
But I don't see Cleveland Cavaliers as a crazy juggernaut defensive team either. So
No.
you're gonna get your points. It just depends how you're gonna get it. Are you gonna be fast paced up and down? You're gonna run them, or you're gonna if they go half court defense. That's where I see the Raptors struggling. I think they gotta run on them, and they're younger.
Oh,
They're
100%.
they're more
Yeah.
athletic. I personally I think, and I think they gotta just outrun them up and down the court. That's it.
Yeah.
Take advantage.
I don't think that's going to happen in the playoffs. That's the issue, right?
But
Coach, I don't think fast break teams win in the playoffs. That's just me. They're going to need to score in the half court.
I mean, it depends on how the other team adapts to the transition on
Yeah,
defense.
yeah,
If they do a good job, then you can stop them. I mean, for years we saw the Phoenix Suns back like 20 years ago when they were going up and down the court. They had some success until they ran into the Spurs.
right,
The Spurs would
right.
cut them off in transition.
Yeah, yeah. The good news about this is the Cavs are not some juggernaut defensively, and unless
No.
Allen and Mobley play, and Mobley, even Allen's not great defensively. Unless Mobley returns to his form, they're not defending anybody. So the Raptors have a chance to take advantage of them because they're bad defensively. It's just a matter of can they get out and get open shots. Now, there's no guarantee they make these open shots because they've had many open shots and they can't hit 3-pointers, which is they're going to have to do to win this series. So, yeah, they got a puncher's chance because the Cavs are just, they're not my favorite team. They're very inconsistent, and they don't defend. And Mitchell and Harden certainly aren't going to change that. And Mobley's going to have to be something special anchoring their defense because they really don't they tend to outscore teams. They don't really play great defense. So uh, we'll
I
see.
saw I saw a statistic. It's almost the reversal. So it's like the Raptors are top 5 in defense, and the Cavs are top 5 in offense. And the Raptors are like 15th in defense or 15th in offense, and the Cavs are like 15th in defense. It's something like
Yeah,
it's around that. So you're literally trading the offense for defense of what's going to win.
yeah. It'll be interesting. when the Raptors won those games early in the season, they ran them out of the building. They just ran up and down, fast break, and the Cavs had no answer. I don't
Different
think
team.
that's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen in this series, but we'll see. At least they got a shot because it's not the Knicks. Thank God it's not the Knicks. Hey, Orlando, thank you very much. Thank you for benching Desmond Bain in a game you had to win to lose to the bench of the Celtics because that gave us the 5 seed. Thank you very much. We appreciate
Mhm.
it. A righty jump shot says Cavs are 18th in defense. Look,
Yeah.
they're not a good defensive team. If the Cavs are going to win this series, they're going to outscore you with their talent. They're not going to outdefend you. So that's where the Raptors have a chance. If they can outdefend the Cavs and just score enough, they can keep the score low, then they have a chance. But if it becomes a half court game, I don't like their chances because of the Raptors' inability to stop bigs and stop quick guards. But we'll see.
Yeah. Role players are going to be huge in this series. Max Strus, if he gets caught, if he's firing up threes, it's going to be tough. Sam Merrill,
Yep,
same
Sam
thing.
Merrill. Yep, if they turn into the Celtics bench players, Sam Merrill and then the Raptors
Yeah.
have no chance. They
Keon
got no chance.
Ellis, the decent
Yeah,
pickup for them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dennis
joking, you're
Schroeder's
right.
got something to prove too in this series as well
Dennis
in Toronto.
Schroeder's on that team, so I disagree with you, Jose. I think the Cavs have a better bench than the Raptors, and the reason why I say that is because the Raptors don't use their bench. Like, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but Darko's gone to a 7 or 8 man rotation for 2 months now. He doesn't use Grady Dick. He doesn't use most of the guys on that bench anymore. He uses 7 or 8 guys, which is fine for the playoffs. I'm not getting on him for that. But the Cavs are going to use more players, and they have a lot more snipers from three, and that might be the difference in this series. We'll see. But boy, oh boy, if those two white dudes get going, we're in trouble, coach.
It's Strus and Merrill. Yeah. Well, the
you know,
Cavs don't have any backup bigs. That's something if you can
no,
get Mobley or Allen in foul trouble. I don't know who else they'd go to the bench to and say, yeah, let's bring this backup big off the bench.
yeah.
Like if you get one of them in foul trouble, that's not that there goes the rim protection. Then there's none.
Well, there you go. We'll continue with the Raptors as we go along. I want to talk about the other series a little bit, get some picks. This next one's going to be a beauty. The Minnesota Timberwolves once again are playing the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, and boy, oh boy, when these two teams meet, it is fun to watch. They don't like each other. It's a war every time. It's massive runs and switches back and forth. We saw a series, I believe it was last year or the year before, where Minnesota went up 2-0. Denver took the next three, and then Minnesota won the next two. Like this is just a wild back and forth of runs between these two teams. Um, Anthony Edwards is not healthy right now. I'm sure he'll play in the playoffs, but like he wasn't 100% going into the playoffs. He's a game time decision with a knee injury to start the playoffs. So I don't know how healthy or unhealthy he is. And it looks like Denver is fully healthy. Uh, this is going to go the full seven, I think. Um, I'm going to take Denver. I like how Jamal Murray has played this year. He looks like the old healthy Jamal Murray. If he plays like he does in the playoffs normally when he's healthy, they win the series. So I'll go with them. Obviously, Aaron Gordon needs to be healthy for them. But if Jamal Murray plays the way he has all season and he brings back playoff Murray, they win the series, especially if Edwards is not 100% healthy. Jokic, hey, you got one title, you got 3 MVPs. It's time to step up. Last year against OKC, you were not at your best and you lost in seven. You got to be better. I'm going to say it right now. It can't be relied on Aaron Gordon making all these crazy shots for you to stay in a series. Jokic just got to show up as well. But I think Jamal Murray's the X factor, and they win it probably in seven because this is going to be a close series. Coach, who do you got?
I kind of like what you just said there about Denver. I think with Jamal Murray, the way he's playing this year and his health, I think if they got to get Cam Johnson involved, like he's got to
Yeah,
get going for them. He's got Aaron Gordon as well. I would have said most years Minnesota because I don't know who's going to guard the Ant Man on that team, but
yeah,
Denver's number one offense in the league this year.
yeah,
And I like you said, we all know how great Jokic is. He's probably the best center since Shaquille O'Neal in the league. I can make that.
yeah,
I think you can make an argument for that. But
yeah,
it's about titles now
yeah,
for him.
yeah.
Can you win again?
Yeah. And the field just got tougher because that big Amazon that's in San Antonio, he's not going anywhere, and they're going to be title contenders for the next decade. So he better win one soon before that guy really takes over the league. Uh, Coach, or sorry, Jose, tough series here. Who do you got?
It's a tough series. You know what? I would have took Minnesota if Anthony Edwards
Yeah,
was healthy.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
But I think he's not 100%. And I don't see nobody in Minnesota to cover Jokic. I don't think Rudy Gobert is gonna puts up a challenge to him. It's gonna be a close series. But yeah, I just because Anthony Edwards is not 100%, I'm gonna take the Nuggets. And plus, like you said, Jamal Murray's been playing really good, and Cam Johnson needs to have a great series. He needs to be that third option of scoring. If Aaron Gordon's not playing well, they need him. They got some good bench players coming off the bench too. So yeah, I think the Nuggets in seven.
Yeah, that'll be these series are a couple of these series are going to be great. There's going to be some blowouts, but this will be a really good series. That's the 3:30 start on Saturday. Oh, let's go to this one. Now, this series is going to have a little bit of a different feel because Trey Young has been traded to the Washington uh, Wizards. So we will not see Trey Young going mental in Madison Square Garden this time. However, the Hawks, who were one of the best teams in the league after trading Trey Young and ended up being the sixth seed, will play the New York Knicks. Now, the Knicks have been up and down all season. It's been a big roller coaster for them, unless they play the Raptors. When they play the Raptors, they're like the second coming of the Spurs. But they've been very up and down. They've had some injuries, and Atlanta's this young upstart team that just has Neil Alexander Walker, who is averaging 20 a game, Jalen Johnson, who's really taken a leadership role there. They got a couple of nice bigs in there. I got the Knicks. They got the playoff experience. They have all the pressure on them. They cannot lose a first round series to the Hawks. I don't like how they've played this season, but I think they have enough to beat the Hawks and get a rematch with the Pistons in round two. Although it won't be the Pistons in round two because the winner of 4 or 5 will play the Pistons. I gave away my pick there. The Pistons are winning their first round series. It doesn't matter who they play. But I got the Knicks in this one. But I think this is going to be a much closer series than people think. I think this could go 6 or 7. Coach, who do you got?
I get the Knicks, I think, in about 6. Atlanta's
Yeah,
been the hottest team in the league, I think,
yeah,
or one of the hottest teams in the league since like the new year. Ever since
yeah,
they traded Trey Young, their
yeah,
defense has gotten significantly better. I think they are the ninth best defensive team in the NBA.
yeah,
Um, you know that Trey Young's not there if you're the ninth best defense
yeah,
in the NBA. But they have a
yeah,
lot of guys that can just play. Nikhil Alexander Walker's been a big time revelation this year in the way that he's played. Dyson Daniels can guard. He's going to put a lot of pressure on Brunson in the series. I just don't know who they're going to have to match up with Cat. I don't trust Kongwu. Johnson's really good. Jalen Johnson's really good. But again, don't see who's going to guard Cat.
yeah,
Cat's the difference, I think.
yeah. For context, guys, the Atlanta Hawks early in the season with Trey Young were dead last in the NBA in defense, and they're now ninth. That
Ninth.
tells you how big a difference it has been without him in the lineup. So yeah, Cat. If Cat's kind of weird in the playoffs, he should be okay in this series. But his inconsistencies scare me a little. But he should be okay against this Hawks team because they just don't have anyone to guard him. Certainly not Okongwu, certainly not Capella. So he'll be the X factor. And I think Brunson's still going to get his. OG, is he healthy? That's a good question. Is he 100% healthy? Because he'll be important for their defense. Josh Hart, of course. But this is a very important series for the Knicks, and they need to at least get to the conference final for it to be a success because they fired Tibbs, and they've been so up and down with the Princeton master over there, Mike Brown. So
I have a question for you. What
yeah.
happens if Atlanta pulls off the upset? What's James Dolan going to do?
Oh man, I can't imagine that Brown would keep his job after that.
There'll be
I
change, not just Brown. There'll be Cats out the
yeah.
door again, probably.
Everybody's
Oh,
getting fired
yeah.
and traded.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's getting
Yeah.
fired and traded.
I'll tell you this: Mikal Bridges needs to be a lot better than he's been in the last month in this series. He has not been good
Even
the
hard
last.
too.
Yeah, they need to get everybody going here because
Yeah.
they're relying far too much on Brunson and Towns to carry them lately. They need more production out of those guys. Jose, who do you got?
I got the Knicks too. I think it's gonna be six Knicks and six.
Yeah,
I see, like you said, Atlanta's been one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the NBA lately. And Nikhil Walkerman averaging like almost 30 points a game these last games to end the season and stuff like that. So like they're good defensively, much improved, and they got guys to that can hurt the Knicks too. They can get Brunson in foul trouble. That I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy
yeah,
for the Knicks. It's gonna be a
yeah.
tough series, but they'll squeak it out. They have the veteran presence and the players, and they'll squeak it out.
You're talking about pressure, coach. I think this might be the most pressure-filled series in the playoffs. The Knicks, I think they're really going to be feeling it, and Atlanta might be able to take advantage of this.
Well, Jonathan Kaminga, thank goodness he went to Atlanta. Now he's getting some shine. They got some athletes over there, wing athletes. You got Johnson, you got Kaminga. There's obviously Dyson Daniels. There's Reese Shea. Reese Shea's not strong, but it's still 6'9" and he's long. So it's not like they're going to be short of athleticism or wing defenders or guard defenders for that matter. I think the difference, though, where the Knicks have the advantage is the bigs. Cat, Mitchell Robinson's going to have a decent series, certainly for the Knicks. And of course, OG and Bridges. Like you said, Bridges has to play better, and he can. Bridges and OG, that luxury that you can have all those guys switch on guards and bigs. I mean, there's no excuse for the Knicks not to win this series,
No,
but I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park either.
yes. For those who are watching, if you have any Raptors questions, go ahead. We're just going through the other series. We'll get back to the Raptors after. Um, let's go to the Rockets and the Lakers. This series took on a whole new vision once Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic were lost for the rest of the regular season, possibly more. I don't think Doncic is coming back, although he's going to try to play. Reeves is definitely not coming back. Had they been playing, the Lakers were likely favorites and would win this series. But because of the injuries and LeBron being almost 42 and by himself, I don't think the Lakers can win this series without those two guys. I got the Rockets because of those injuries. I'll tell you one thing: if Kevin Durant finds a way to lose this series, boy, oh boy, oh boy, that's going to be hard to recover from. I know you don't have a point guard, but you got Sengun and you've got yourself and enough players around there. This team should be better than they are, and you can't lose to a team without its two stars and old man LeBron. You do that, and you might as well retire KD. Like there's nowhere else to go. You can't go to another team after this. You re-signed with Houston. This is it. Um, so I got Houston because my God, like they better not lose to LeBron and a bunch of nobodies. So um, if Luca comes back, it changes everything. I'll just keep that in mind. But I don't think he's going to be healthy. He looked to have a very serious hamstring injury, and Reeves is out until at least the second or third round. So yeah, they can't score enough to beat the Rockets. Coach, what do you got?
I get Houston. They're top 10 offense, top 10 defense. I think with the Ime Udoka team, you're definitely going to have a top 10 defense for sure. Plus, Amon Thompson, he can really guard and defend it. They have enough pieces, certainly. Um, you're right. If Reeves and Doncic were playing, I probably would pick the Lakers. This is too
Yeah,
much for LeBron at 41 or 42 years old, whatever he is now, to put on his shoulders. Like I saw him do that in 2015 and 16, especially
yeah,
2015 when they lost to Golden State. The second best player was
yeah,
Dellavedova, and they
yeah,
still won a game or two against
yeah,
Golden State. But
yeah,
father time gets us all. So I
yeah.
just think Durant and Thompson, Shepard's been pretty good this year playing point guard. Um, I think they're going to make enough shots, and I think Houston wins. I can see Houston winning in four. Honestly, if Doncic does not play, they'll sweep that series.
Yeah, I mean, I could see LeBron getting one, but yeah, that's about it. Jose, who do you got?
Yeah, I got the Rockets too. Um, they're a healthier team. That's all I gotta say. They're just more healthier than the Lakers. And if, like you said, the Lakers were healthy, I'd probably take the Lakers in seven. But
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just, you know what? But don't count out LeBron, man. You know, since Luca's been out, they've won games. It's not like they've lost every single game. And you can see LeBron, has a bigger role into the game. But like I said, I think Houston's too many weapons, and Thompson will probably be end up covering him during the series, and he's a great defender. So yeah, and I don't trust anybody else in that Laker team to help him. DeAndre Ayton, I think that guy's been a bust.
I agree.
Like he's been one of the biggest busts in the NBA, for, like top picks. This he has a chance to be a great player in the Lakers, and he's coming off the bench. Like it's pretty bad. Or like I don't know. It's just I think he's a waste of a talent, but. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I'll take the Rockets winning this
Yeah.
series. Yeah, I see the Lakers winning maybe one or two games, but the Rockets should win the series.
Yeah, NBA, good job by the way, making all the competitive series on Saturday because then on Sunday it becomes blowout city in the first round. So we're gonna go through these quickly because I don't think any of us are gonna change our mind with a few comments. Philly goes to Boston. Um, Philly, they're without Joel Embiid. I don't think he's going to play in the series. He just had an appendectomy. That guy's eternally unhealthy. Had he been in the series, it could have been a little more interesting. But I really like this Celtics team. I think they're going back to the finals again. Um, Detroit notwithstanding, because I think that's going to be the conference final. But that Boston team now that Tatum's back and their bench is so good. Like they're just a really really good team, and I think they're going back. I like Detroit a lot, but I got Boston winning this series in five. I like Maxi. I don't like Paul George. VJ's played well all season long, but without Embiid, they can't score enough to beat the Celtics, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting because it's Philly, but it's not going to be pretty. Coach,
Yeah, I get Celtics in four.
yeah,
I'm amazed with how good their organization is. They found Kada off like free agency and went to waivers.
yeah,
Nobody wanted him, right? Peyton Pritchard, late first. Hugo Gonzalez, second round pick. Jordan
Garland,
Walsh, second round. Shireman, late first, I think, or early second. Like they turned these guys into rotational players. And you got some teams with all kinds of first round picks on their bench and they can't do anything with them. Like credit to Brad Stevens and my coach of the year, Joe Mazzulla, especially
yeah,
without Tatum this year, and they going to finish second in the East and could win the title, or could go back. I should say back to the finals. They're probably
yeah.
my favorite to go back to the finals. Getting Tatum back was huge, and Jalen Brown, he's my MVP this year.
Yeah, I like your pick. I would pick the San Antonio Spurs coach. I can't. His name escapes me right now. But
Oh, Mitch Johnson, yeah,
Mitch Johnson, the improvement. The Spurs won 62 games this year, and they were out of
yeah,
the playoffs last year. I think that's he probably won't even win it, but I think he is
that's
deserving
a
of
good
winning
one
it.
though. Took over Pop too. That's a lot
Yeah,
to take over.
yeah. That would be my pick. I don't think he'll win it, but I think he's my pick. Yeah, this Jose, who do you got? This is you know,
It should be Celtics. Celtics in four or five. I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe give them one game in Philly or whatever. They'll be
yeah.
sleeping in Philadelphia, but uh, I
Boston might blow a game. Boston falls asleep sometimes. They
yeah,
blow a game.
no, of course, but that team now with Tatum back, they're healthy. But they have great role players like you guys were mentioning, and they got my Portuguese superstar name is Keita, uh,
That's right. That's
out of
right.
Nevada, out of Nevada. But no, they should win. To me, like you guys, I think they're going to go back to the finals. I think they have the team back. I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody in the East stopping them. Not even the Detroit, but Detroit with Kate Cunningham getting injured too. That may be a factor for them.
He's back
Uh,
tomorrow.
well, I know he's back, but I don't think he's 100%. I don't know. He's
Yeah, it's a
I don't know.
collapsed lung, right? You don't know how. Yeah, you don't know how it's
Exactly
going to
right.
feel, right?
So, but yeah, I see Boston. I Boston in four or five.
I'm going to quickly go to OKC. I'm just going to talk about how impressive they are and the fact that they're going to get another first round pick from the Clippers trade, which makes me laugh my head off. I just love it. The Clippers, they're the gift that keeps on giving. They get knocked out by Golden State at home, who had all their players injured before the season ended. Curry had only played 2 games. He comes in there, he scores 35 points in 35 minutes, and he beats them in LA. Draymond Green pulls back the clock, stops Kawhi, and Garland gets outplayed by Guy Santos. You cannot make this up. You can't make this up. But unfortunately for Golden State, if they get by the Suns, which is an if, they got to play OKC. And if the Suns get by Golden State, they got to play OKC. Shea is, I mean, I know Coach made a nice pick in Jaylen Brown, and he very well could win MVP. I think Shea's going to win the MVP again. I think there's a big case for Wemby. I would, my vote right now would be between Shea and Wemby. The improvement from the Spurs from one season to the next makes me want to vote for Wemby because
Right.
of his impact on both sides of the court. So when I might even vote Wemby right now because I mean they destroyed OKC in the regular season, like they absolutely annihilated them, and so I might vote Wemby. That's a close one for me. It won't be Jokic though, that's for sure. But yeah,
Hey,
OKC
listen,
is just they're so
I
loaded.
think he's in the running. A guy, the center that leads the league in assists. Give him
I
that.
yes, I
And
and they won 12 straight to end the season. So absolutely,
at least
yeah,
I didn't see I never seen a center before averaging the being first in place in the assists in the league.
yeah,
I think he's the first one, but
yeah.
I think he's in the running. I don't think it's going to be a crazy race. I think it's going to be a really tight race
Oh,
between them
absolutely,
three. I don't think
yeah.
it's going to be a blowout. But Jokic, to me, I would pick Jokic as an MVP. Honestly,
Yeah. And Cade is now eligible. The NBA announced that he got an injury provision, so he's eligible for the award. I don't know if he'll win it, but man, he deserves some votes for that season Detroit has had. And Luka's also eligible, but will not win it. But I think it's going to be a four-horse race there for the award. OKC's just they're so loaded, and they have so many players that can produce for them, even when their best players aren't playing at their best. Coach's boy Lou Dort's still running around, killing people on defense, tripping people and knocking people over, and the refs let him get away with it.
Man,
So,
he's playing
um,
football, man. He's not playing
yeah, he's playing
basketball.
football, man. So, no matter, I'll tell you this: I hope it's Golden State because I would really like to watch Golden State play OKC. I just think it'd be fun to watch the old guard against the new guard. Way better than watching the Suns play them. So here's hoping Golden State wins that game. But OKC is going to win the series and win the series easy. So maybe 4 or 5. We'll see. But that should be fun. Detroit plays the winner of. Help me out here, Coach. They play the winner of
They'll play the winner of Charlotte or Orlando.
Charlotte, Orlando. Okay. Detroit wins the series no matter who they play. Orlando will be a 4-game sweep without question. Orlando is a complete mess. They have a coach that they don't want anymore. They have real trouble scoring. Defensively, they struggle as well. Like they're just, I mean, that loss to Boston. I'm just done with this team. If it's Charlotte, Charlotte might get a game or two.
I
Charlotte,
want this series.
I want Charlotte to play Detroit because yes, Detroit beat them even when they were at their hottest because Charlotte was one of the best teams in the league to end the season. But I just want to see Charlotte and that wild card of a team play Detroit because it'll just be more fun to watch. But Detroit still wins the series, Coach.
No, Charlotte's like the greatest number 9 seed ever. I think.
Yeah.
They're so good, and I got to give you credit on what you said about Con Knipple earlier on in the year. I knew he's good to shoot. I didn't think he'd be this good this soon, or even this. Like he has been instrumental to that team's success. Mind you, LaMelo's healthy. Brandon Miller's healthy this year. Miles Bridges, he's always good for 18 and 8 on the court. They found the Diabate kid, super athlete.
Yeah.
My goodness, he's an amazing athlete. And they have a bench too in Kobe White.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Charlotte could give Detroit, oddly enough, they could go 6 games actually, if it's possible. I know our guy Beyond kind of is like, well, you gotta get my Pistons in there, right? No, I think if I'm Detroit, you really want to hope Orlando wins that game because Charlotte
Yeah,
will put some pressure on them. Like you got Lamelo against Cade, that's a lot of talent right there on the court.
yeah. Lamelo can't go 2 for 16 from three again if they're gonna. It's just like that guy. Just the threes he was taking in that game against Atlanta, and the things that happened in that game, like it's a miracle they still won the game
Oh,
after
it was ridiculous. Some of the pulling
Miami
it
goal.
over half and taking threes. Yeah, that's
I,
that's just
I
ridiculous.
he was taking some shots that I was just like, what is this kid doing? But he ended up helping them win the game after making a giant mistake against Tyler Hero, and they managed to beat the Heat. And he cheap shotted Bam out of bio. Like,
Yeah.
man, they're such a wild team. It would be fun to watch them come out of there. Way more than Orlando, who's a mess. But Coach, sorry, Jose, who do you got in this game? Do you think Charlotte wins the playing game?
Yeah, I think Charlotte wins the playoff. The play.
Yeah,
They live by the threes. That's their game. They
they
shoot.
take 55 threes a game. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So if they hit half of them, they're gonna win the game. If they don't, they hit one third of them, they're gonna lose the game. That's just their game. They're Lamelo Ball reminds me of a street baller. He's like a pure street baller. If he's on one of those hot streaks, he'll just throw them up from half court and hopefully they'll go in and stuff like that. He's but he when he's on his game, man, he's a dangerous player and he can score.
Yeah,
He can put up points with anybody. But yeah, the I think Charlotte's gonna win and then they're gonna lose to Detroit in six. I can see them winning a couple of games.
yeah.
And yeah, but Detroit should win that series. Whoever they play, if they play the Orlando, it's gonna be a sweep.
Oh yeah,
Orlando
no,
is
they're
horrible.
finished.
Like I don't Paul Banchero against the against Philly was horrible. Like you're
Yeah.
supposed to be the main guy on that team, and you come up with a game like that. That was pretty bad. But
Yeah, 7 for 22. I don't know
yeah,
how Charlotte won a game with Connor Knipple and Lonzo Ball shooting 2 for 22 from three. I have no idea.
Yeah, Khan
Other
didn't
than
play
that,
well in that game at all. It was
no.
Kobe White that saved them.
Yes, yes. So those playing games were absolutely wild. I cannot believe some of these playing games. They're insane. And finally, the Blazers, who shocked me when they beat the Suns. I thought the Suns would win that game. They are on the rise. They're going to get coach's boy Damian Lillard back next year, and who knows what they'll be next year. It's tough out in the West, though. They have made it to the playoffs, and they get the honor of facing Wemby. And yeah, that's not going to end well. Uh, it very well could be a sweep. I'd love to give Shaden Sharp and the boys a game because Klingon might be physical and Shaden might have a crazy game, and Dennis have Gita, who has played great all season, might steal one for them with his production. But man, that Spurs team has been so impressive this year to the point where they could upset OKC later on in the playoffs. But I got the Spurs winning this in five. I think Portland will win a game because they have enough players where they could steal a game, but it'll be a five, a gentleman's sweep. It's like coach, a gentleman. What do you got, coach?
I think, yeah, I like in five. Look, Portland, Drew Holiday's got a lot of playoff experience, and there's not a lot of experience on the Spurs side. Now they're talented, obviously. You got Wemby, the most unguardable person in the league right now. They got Klingon on the other side. Klingon will be able to physically match up with him. The problem is when you go to the perimeter, which Wemby can do, and that's where you're going to run into problems. And the Spurs, I thought I saw a statistic. They got like 6 or 7 guys averaging over 10 points a game. It's the only team in
That's
the
not
league that has that.
yeah,
It's
it's crazy.
it's Wemby, it's Fox,
Castle,
Castle, Harper, Kelvin
Harper.
Johnson. I want to say there's another one in there. It's like Harrison Barnes might have 10 points a game
Yes,
or something.
yes,
But they
yeah,
have, and there's another guy in there too. But,
mhm.
you know, that's a lot of firepower for the Spurs.
Yeah. I really think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be OKC and the Spurs in the conference final, and that will be epic if it happens. Jose, who do you got?
yeah,
How many games?
Spurs in the sweep or five. Easy. I think that's Wemby's on the mission. I don't know what it is. I think he's on the mission this year. Even in the All Star game, he wanted to win that so bad. And trust me,
Yeah,
the way he's playing out there this year, he want the to me, I think they're gonna go to the finals. I see them going to the finals. I think he's gonna have a breakout playoffs. He's gonna put himself in the map and make everybody know who he is. And I think they're going to go to all the way to the finals.
yeah. I mean, the way they beat OKC early this year, like I'm trying to remember if OKC was healthy. I think they were for one of the games, and then
They match
OKC
up well
beat them.
against OKC.
Yeah,
They match
they
up
do.
well
They
against
do.
OKC.
Yes, yes. They don't have anyone to guard Wemby. Let's call it what it is. Um, So that's the difference. Shea is going to have to match him, and they're going to have to get production, way more production out of Jalen Williams if they're going to win that series.
Yeah.
And Chet will have to be his usual self, but they just don't have anyone to guard Wemby. So those are our picks for the first round. Just going back to the Raptors, we're almost done here. We're gonna be going in like 3 minutes here. So just to end off, um, if the Raptors lose this series, Coach, what do you call this season for them? And will any changes, major changes, happen as a result of what happens in this series?
Depends on the series. Do they get swept? Yeah, you need changes in some capacity. If it's a series, like a 6 or 7 game series, you might not see as many changes to the team. I think
Mm-hmm.
that would prove like, okay, we competed with the Cavs. They had a lot on the line. We don't. So that could determine though if a guy like RJ Barrett stays or not. Or it could
Yeah.
be a quickly. Do they revisit the Sabonis thing back in
Mm-hmm.
this summer? Uh, so there's like I think Darko is back next year.
Yeah,
For,
he's
for,
gonna keep his job. I
yeah,
know.
he'll for better or for worse. Yeah, he'll keep his job.
Yeah.
Though I think they're going to try to run back most of this. Like I see Scotty and Ingram coming back for sure. RJ's that's the question for me
Mm-hmm.
if he's back. But we'll see how he plays in the series because if he's really good in this series, that's going to be tough to trade.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I asked that question because I don't have the answer because I just don't know what this team is. They are the most contrasting team I remember seeing in NBA history, where they just annihilate bad teams and get destroyed by good teams. So I don't know what they are. I don't
They
think anybody
are
knows what
the
they are.
definition of a mid team. They
Yeah,
beat
that's what
the
they are.
really bad teams and they stink against the really good teams. That's why they
Yeah,
are the Toronto middies. I don't even they love taking mid range jumpers all the time too. So
yeah. Um, I don't. Darko keeps his job. I'm not his biggest fan. He's earned a right to come back next year with the season they've had.
yeah,
Whether I like it or not, he's going to have his job next year. Bobby will likely be back as well. Uh, I think there's going to be changes though. I don't think you can go back next year with the same roster. I think there's going to be changes. I don't know who that is. I hope to God Grady Dick gets traded from this team because I think he's way more talented than just sitting on the bench and getting garbage time. I just
yeah.
think it has to be on another team. It's not going to be on this team. So I hope that happens for him. But yes, I think the way they play in the series will determine a lot. Jose, what about you as we sign off?
Like Coach was saying, I think if they get swept, I think Webster loses. I think Webster gets fired. I don't think he's going to be the
Really?
GM. Yeah,
Wow.
he had
Okay.
he had opportunities to make deals at the trade deadline. He could have gotten us a bonus. He could have gotten like players, and he didn't make any moves. He wants to see. I guess he wants to play out the roster and see how it is. But you need players like a Sabonis on this team. You need a superstar player. If I think if they get swept, I think he gets canned. And then like you're saying, in the offseason, they'll have to make some trades to upgrade the team. I still think they're a superstar away to making another big playoff push. I think they need a big name player to come in here and help them out, but we'll see in the offseason. But it's going to be hard, but
Well,
we'll
I
see.
don't want to get too much into it. They need a point guard and they need a big. That's obvious, but that's been obvious since the beginning of the season. Um, Bobby, look, Keith Pelly is trying to replace the Leafs GM with an AI robot. So anything can happen. Okay. So anything can happen, but as long as Bobby sits there and looks like a robot, he keeps his job.
He
So
does know the Montreal Canadiens are pretty good, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know, why hire hockey guys like Martin St. Louis and why do that? Why? Well, let's just get an AI guy in here. He'll tell us what to do. So anything can happen with this Raptors team with Keith Pelly in charge. Penny pinching Pelly, that's his new name. So good luck. We'll see what happens. It'll be fun to watch. Coach, I'm going to see you on Saturday for the watch party. Jose will be back. We'll talk some hockey. We'll talk more about this Raptors series as we go along. And we'll also have World Cup coverage coming up. I hope to have many guests on the show for that. Thank you to Coach. Thank you to Jose. For the Mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. This is the Reese Report. I will see you again next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Next time, ask some questions. Okay? Good luck, Raptors. I hope you do well. Don't like your chances, but prove me wrong, okay? Good night, everyone.